أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم بكي الشيخ إبراهيم خادم رسول أدي سبين ساي سنة أستغاون بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وآله وصحبه وتقبل مني لوجهك الكريم كل إيمان إليك بأستغفر الله به أستغفر الله العظيم وأتوب إليه من ظواهر ومن غيوب أستغفر الله العظيم وأتوب إليه من ظواهر ومن غيوب سألته بحق وجه الله مغفرة من جملة المناهي تبت له من جملة سجائري مع الكبائر ومن دمائري كافر لك كل ما تقدم وما تخار وما بينهما فهمني يا أمة وزدني علما وأملا وأدبا وفهما وربي ذكشي فؤول منافيا وجعل حياتي من شكاء مانيا اكشف لي على صلوات وامدا يا خير من كشف سيرا غامدا يجمع جميع ما تفعل خالدا خاتم من آخري وسافل خالدا لكبردا تفخر لدميا ربي بكم متسما كلاميا هب لي يا أكرم في تلاوة خيرا كثيرا منك والحلاوة فرق لي اللهم في حياتي وجاف آلي وتنال آياتي هب لي كوني بشر كل من يتوب ولي ظواهر أبين مع الغيوب قبولا نكون به تهيلا من الذنوب والمآسي والآفات حتى أدخل الجنة التي وأمدكم برحمتك يا رحمن يا رحيم. Word of the butterfly. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. الفاتحة 4 times. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا صراط مستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا صراط مستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا صراط مستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا صراط مستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين. Salatul Fatih 1 time. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad al-Fatihi lima uglika wal-Khatimi lima sabaka ناصر الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره والمقداره العظيم. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, 66 times. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya 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 Rahim, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, 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 Ya Rahim, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, 66 times. Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, 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 Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Latif, Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, 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 Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Latif, Aziz, Ya Latif, Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, 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 Ya Aziz, Latif, Aziz, Ya Latif, Aziz, Latif, Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, 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 Aziz, Latif, Aziz, Ya 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 Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz, Latif, Ya Aziz, Ya Latif, Aziz, Ya Latif, Ya Aziz. Allahu Latifun bil ibadihi yarzuqu man yasha'u wa huwa al-qawiyul aziz. Ya Hayyu, Ya Qayyum, 66 times. Ya Hayyu, Ya Qayyum, 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 Ya Qayyum, Ya Hayyu, 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 Ya Qayyum. Allahu la ilaha illahu al Hayyu Qayyum. Ya Wadud, Ya Allah, 66 times. Ya Wadud, Ya Allah, 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 Ya Wadud, Allah, Ya Wadud, Ya 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 Allah, Wadud, Allah, Ya Wadud, Ya 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 Allah, Wadud, Ya Allah, Ya Wadud, Ya Allah. All right, all right, all right. The big guns, the big guns. 1,000 la ilaha illallah. Y'all ready? Nah, my bad, my bad. Slow down. 66 la ilaha illallah. 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 La illallah. La ilaha. Shake you to fall. La ilaha illallah. 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 One Salatul Fatih. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Al-Fatihi lima uglika. Wal-Katimi lima sabaka. ناصر الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم. 66 Bahu. Bahu, 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 Bahu. Bahu, 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 bahu. Hu bahu 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 hu bahu 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 hu bahu 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 Hu ba hu ba hu ba hu ba hu ba hu hu ba hu ba hu ba hu ba hu ba hu hu ba hu ba hu. Al-Fatiha. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in Ihdinas siratal mustaqim Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghayril maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Ameen. Baki sitting follow. 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 Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Mainland the new, Sunu Boko Taliban, Munid Akbar for Yip, in Tanzania, Europe, Sudan, Funek, South America, Menla Cheikh Sufi by Fall Sitting Salu, Union Island, Yip, Chibaka Sitting Tuba. Luma Bugawak Te Moy. Kela tuba bahu. Kela tuba bahu. Sin yip say tanila. Ifoko dakyom. Ifoko dakyom. Pastor. Bunek ignon. Bunyek nek ignon. Dukam sadini. Dukam yala. Yangi mel a tuba chibilde. Lolo mo bahu. Tay. You fuck again the Lolo. Pastor. Lolo munanek. You gisnama. Gisnani. Ni. Gisnani. African lot. Man, me, African, do two of them. Hey, them book a walk again, begin the fair two up to Sakel. Pastor Bobo might say tiny. Yangi dig. Yangi dig. Yangi dig means, can you understand what I'm saying? Did anybody understand any of the warlaw?
Islam, Sheikh, first I rise when all praise to Allah and the highest of honors to his prophet. Um, I understood bits and pieces. Um, but
What is one thing that I said? One thing.
um, I remember I remember Tuba, of course. Nyanga
Okay, Tuba, yes.
And I believe I heard Yanga Deck.
Okay. Well, let me explain. I wanted to open up in Willow because this is part of our topic. The topic today is breaking the spell of America. Breaking the spell of America on your mind. There's a great book by a Native American shaman. The name of the book is called Black Elk Speaks. Black Elk Speaks is like a Bible for the natives in America. Black Elk Speaks, I read the book over 20-something years ago when I lived in Philadelphia. The name of the book is Black Elk Speaks, but one part of the book stood out. Black Elk said that before the Europeans came, before the white man came to America, there was a Native American shaman and seer who had a vision. And the seer saw these strange people coming. And he saw in the vision the remedy to protect his people from these strange people that were coming. The shaman told all of his tribe's people, there is a strange human being coming. If we do 5 things, we will be protected from this devilish being that's coming. The shaman said, we must keep our culture and do 5 things. He said, 1, we cannot speak their language. Do not speak their language. 2, do not eat their food. 3, do not listen to their music. 4, do not wear their clothes. And 5, do not practice their religion. Oh! Let me say that again. We, natives of African descent with melanin, we need to take the advice of Black Elk Speaks. 1, do not speak their language. The European language is a curse for the African. The European language is poison for the African. If you saw the movie Roots, it was imperative that they stop the African from speaking their language. Because if I can colonize your mind, I can control your behind. If I can get you to speak my language, you will take on my consciousness and you will take on my characteristics and qualities just from speaking the white man's language. You shook. Ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. So, in order to offset that language factor that we all grew up under, the spell of English is broken by learning another language, yes, but also praying, learning to pray in something other than the white man's language. My uncle does not speak his own language, is what Master Fard Muhammad taught us. Language is very important. Malcolm X, may Allah be pleased with him, said, every language has its own consciousness. The more you are praying in Arabic, the more you are defeating that language factor. Okay? Personal experience. I've been coming back and forth to the continent of West Africa, to Senegal, since 1996. The first thing, the very first order of the Sheikh was learn to speak Wolof. That was the very first thing. He told me, Serene Saliu told me to learn to speak their language. Learning to speak an African language is like hitting delete, not like. Learning to speak an African language is hitting delete on the subconscious inferiority complex programming coming to you from speaking the white man's language. It's imperative that you spend some time amongst non-English speaking people. It is imperative that all of you, I don't give a blank if you go to South America where they speak in Spanish, or you go to Nigeria where they're speaking Yoruba, or you come to Senegal where they're speaking Wolof. You must remove your mind from the Western language for a certain time period to get clarity. The longer I spend in Senegal, I don't speak English when I'm here. I don't speak English when I'm in Africa. I met a man yesterday, no, 2 days ago. I met a Senegalese man who is a professor of English. When he found out, I'm in the holy city of Touba. It's something I want, it's a whole nother side piece. I'm in the holy city of Touba. I met a professor of English who is Senegalese. When he found out that I was from America, he started speaking to me in English. But guess what? I was answering him in Wolof. He was speaking to me in English. I was coming back to him with Wolof. And finally, I was like, okay, he want to know if I'm really from America. I started speaking some English with him. That was my experience. So number one, learn an African language. If you can learn Wolof from me, that's good. Make it, I don't know how many people's in this class. Each and every one of you has been programmed to hate Africa because of your upbringing in the white supremacist, racist American educational system. In your subconscious mind, you hate Africa. In your subconscious mind, Black is bad, is negative. You need to find a way to get rid of that poison. One way, get a passport, come to Senegal with me. You don't have to come to Senegal with me. Anybody that has a passport, I can have people meet you at the airport, even if I'm in America, but I go and come back to Senegal quite frequently. Inshallah, we'll be back in America mid of this month. Allah knows, I plan to come back to Senegal in December. To break the language factor, you need to learn to speak an African language. 2, pray in Arabic. 3, come home and visit Senegal and spend some time outside of English-speaking countries. Don't speak his language. 2, don't eat his food. This is of the utmost importance. Food is physical, but it's also spiritual food. The food of America is poisonous because it's not halal. GMO food, genetically modified Franken-food in the grocery store. You don't know if that's a watermelon. Do you know that Africans would look at you crazy if they open a watermelon here and there ain't no seeds in it? Let a motherfucker come to Senegal with a watermelon with no seeds. Oh, the Africans would be like, what the hell? What kind of magic is this? We have to begin to grow our own food. We can't keep eating these devil's foods. They putting poison in the food. You know, even in the Nation of Islam years ago, Minister Farrakhan was saying that the food that you're eating has so many negative feminine hormones in it that it's emasculating the men and making them become more feminine. And then they have hormones in the food that's making the women grow mustaches. We have to get away from the white man's food, physical food that we're eating, but food is also what you're taking in just from his environment. The best thing you can do as far as food is eat halal, one. Only eat food that is halal. A wise person would make some type of connection with a farmer, start going to farmers market. You ain't gotta buy your cucumbers, your lettuce and onions in the Whole Devil's Foods. You can start going to farmers markets. The best thing would be go to a farmer's market and buy your fruits and vegetables directly from farmers. Even better yet, start to grow a certain percentage of the food you eat. If you're eating chicken that's not halal, bruh, they are growing chicken in laboratories with 4 wings. Growing chicken in laboratories that's coming out with 4 wings. You think that's chicken you're eating? I beg your pardon. A chicken comes out of an egg, not out of a test tube. If you're eating chicken, it should be organic chicken that came out of an egg, not chicken that was grown in some test tube laboratory warehouse somewhere. Don't speak his language, don't eat his food. The third one was, don't listen to his music. There's a big discussion in Islam about, is music haram? Is music haram? I had an experience in Philadelphia that proves my statement. I was outside of one of the Akis, one of the Arab brothers' stores. 2 Muslim brothers was debating. One Muslim brother said music is haram. The other Muslim brother said music is not haram. As if the Arab had any knowledge, they said, let's go in the store and ask the Arab brother, is music haram? We all went in the store, they asked the brother behind the counter, is music haram? Listen to what he said very closely. The Arab man said, your music is haram. My music is not haram. What would make him say your music is haram? Somebody give me an answer before I give an answer. Why would the Arab man say your music is haram, my music is not haram? Why would he say that?
Sex, death, and violence.
Huh?
Too much sex, death, and violence.
Exactly, Sheikh Sally. And our music is sex, drugs, violence. I'm gonna come in your house. I'm gonna stab your mama. I'm gonna shoot your kids. What kind of shit music is that? That is haram. They have Arab music where they're singing zikr. La ilaha illallah. The Bifal is gonna play some drums and sing about Sheikh Ibrahim. That is not haram. Islam is based on intention. If the music has a good intention, it's good. If the music has a negative intention, it's haram. What we call zikr music is not haram. Everything they're playing on Kun Fayakun radio in the morning is good music. Shoot your mama, sell you some drugs, rape your daughter, that music is haram. That is why one of the Native American prophecies was, we cannot listen to the white man's music. If you're listening to music, I'll bang Tribe Called Quest all day. I'll bang Wu-Tang Clan all day. I will play me some Mighty Most Def all day. Old school Houdini, Run DMC, LL Cool J, Brand Nubian, Poor Righteous Teachers, Public Enemy, I will play that all day. But this shoot your mama, stab your kid shit, haram. Don't speak his language. Don't eat his food. Don't play his music. Don't wear his clothing. You dress like a white man, you a white man. Every being has its own uniform. If I see a policeman, I know that's a policeman because of what he's wearing. If I see a fireman, I know he's a fireman because he's wearing what he's wearing. If I see a hoe, I know that's a hoe because of what she's wearing. I shouldn't say that. But if I see if I see a Jewish person, I know he's Jewish because of what he's wearing. If I see a Muslim, I know that's a Muslim because of what he's wearing. Not saying all and everything. Islam is in the heart. But it should be reflected 3/4 of cloth, never showing yourself off. That's Method Man. Anyway, it should be reflected in your clothing. Don't wear the Europeans' clothes. The Prophet Muhammad gave a prophecy of Islam. The Prophet Muhammad said, at the end of time, one of the signs of the end of time is that women would be fully dressed, but it would be as if they were naked. Body pants, body suits. It ain't no more guesswork. You know what the sister's working with. Brothers too. Brothers wearing skin-tight jeans. Bati boy them, bati boy for dead. You know a bati boy when you see a bati boy. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Your clothing should reflect your state of consciousness. Your clothing should reflect your state of consciousness. Boom, bye, bye, in a body boy head, Buju Banton. I think Sheikh Sufi, let me see, there's some good stuff going on in the chat. Oh, come on, blonde. I ain't even gonna. People getting fake hair, fake eyes. I used to be on social media back in the day. I saw a post on social media that was so hilarious. Sisters want us to be real men, but they got fake ass, fake tits, fake hair, and fake eyelashes. Excuse me, I'm just saying what was online. They want us to be real men, but everything they got is fake. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. I should be using clean language, but blonde hair and blue eyes on a black lady, her mind is gone. I'm trying to look for brother Sheikh Sufi's comment. What did he said something that I think it was important. Music calms the savage beast and raises the devil as well. I mean, now, the first four, breaking the spell of the language. At some point in the day, all the weird of the butterfly, the weird of light, the cane of wisdom, anything in the Holy Quran, reading the Qasa'id, anytime you spend outside of calm down. Anytime that you spend praying in Arabic, you're breaking the language factor. You are in the prison of the white man's language. Can you imagine? Let me make it plain. Can you imagine an Android phone functioning with the Apple system? Will the Apple system work on the Android phone? No. Will the Android phone system work in the Apple phone? No. The European's language is his system, and it's working in an African being. Pray in Arabic. I don't give a blank if you can't read this. If you can't read this, so what? You can read the phonetic. Matter of fact, one of the first things we're gonna do when we come back to America, because we don't have to pay for Wi-Fi, we're gonna teach an Arabic class again. After the Arabic class, we need to teach a Wolof class. It's imperative that we get out of this European language, one. Two, his food. Please make a connection with a farmer's market. Do that for yourself. Stop buying all of your food out of the poison. Stop buying all of your food in the poison grocery store. If you go to a restaurant, go to a halal restaurant where if you're eating pork, use a dork. Stop for loud. If you're eating pork, eating in restaurants that sell pork, you way out of pocket. Don't go in restaurants that sell pork, one. Pork is in your food. When the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was in jail, I love this story. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad told the people in jail, I don't eat pork. They told Honorable Elijah Muhammad, we got pork in the water, nigga. Just saying. Watch your food. Don't eat in restaurants that got pork. If you're eating meat, start to go to halal meat sources. In all the main cities, I get too excited, man. In every main city, there's Muslim halal meat sources. You can start buying halal chicken, halal lamb, halal beef bacon. Do yourself a favor. If you live in any city with a certain amount of Muslim population, look for a halal meat source. Stop eating this devil's food. Turn your radio off. If you're not listening to Kun Fire Kun radio in the morning, make sure that what you're listening to is vibration. My thing is this. Music is energy. Stop listening to devilish music. My thing is this. If I can recite my zikr to the music is good. If I cannot recite la ilaha illallah with the music is haram. There's certain music in America that is so negative, you cannot even recite a zikr along with the song. Pay attention to the energy in the music. Skin Tight, dun, dun, dun. That's an old Cameo song for people going way back in the day. Brothers, I pray and I hope you ain't wearing those skin tight jeans with your bati boy Sakulah. Sisters, I pray you not wearing those skin tight jeans and short pants. Start to wear, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said he preferred the long shirt. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said he preferred a shirt that was long, covering your body. Stop dressing like Europeans. Tunics, Islamic clothing, anything outside of t-shirt and jeans. I know a police officer when I see one because of his dress. I know a fireman because of his dress. I know a Jewish person because of their dress. I know a thought because of her dress. I know a pimp because of his dress. I know a Muslim because of his or her dress. Islam is not in the clothes. but your spirituality and consciousness should be reflected in the clothes you're wearing. Alhamdulillah, we made it back. Breaking the spell of the language. Pray in Arabic, learn Arabic, listen to Arabic music, listen to zikr, listen to qasides. Don't eat the food, start eating halal food. Don't eat in haram restaurants selling pork. Connect with somebody growing plants and vegetables. Stop wearing all of those European clothes that you got. The fifth one, practice Islam to the best of your ability. When you practice, the fifth poison was, do not practice his religion. When you start practicing Islam, Islam is the spell breaker for all 5 of the problems. Islam breaks the whole curse. Breaking the spell of America is as simple of accepting Islam as your way of life and practicing Islam to its fullest. The first curse is the language. As soon as you start practicing Islam, you're praying outside of the European language in Arabic. The second curse is the food. As soon as you practice Islam, you stop eating the devil's food that's poisoned pork, the devil's alcohol. You give all of that up with Islam. His clothes, his music. When you accept Islam, you should listen to Islamic music, music with Islamic themes, zikr music. And the last one is, the curse was, do not practice his religion. Accepting Islam has freed most of us, has begun to free us, I should say, until you can master breaking the chains of the 5 spells completely. When you break the chains of the 5 spells completely, you are free of the spell of America. One of the easiest ways to break the curse of America is to get a passport and come and spend time in West Africa. Does anybody have any questions or comments? The floor is open.
Bismillah, Sheikh. Salaam alaikum.
Hey, walaikum salam, my brother.
Yeah, I have a quick question. I know we're talking about like basically like whether it's everything Islam, but there's a portion of Islamic fashion or maybe deen or lifestyle. There are brothers who that I've seen that would like dye their beard a different color, like red or like an orange. Um, what is the significance behind that? Why do they do that?
Yeah, that
And
came from during the Prophet Muhammad's time, alayhi salam. There was a lot of during the time of jihad and fighting. The Prophet alayhi salam had advised Muslims they would dye their beards black so the opposing army would not think that they were fighting old men with gray beards. So the dyeing of the beard, it comes from that time period. Now, why people are dyeing it red and henna, I don't know. But during the Prophet's time, alayhi salam, during the battles, some of the Muslim men who had gray beard or white beard, they would dye it black so that the opposing army would not think they were fighting old men. All right? That's the best answer I have for that question.
Alhamdulillah. Now I have another question regarding still
Yeah.
about like I guess like face or makeup. I've also seen I guess men of ancient time wear eyeliner. Um, I don't know if that was like for emperors or kings who had like maybe like a Muslim or Islamic origin or background. If you can go into that as to
Yeah,
why that is.
me personally, I'm not into no forms of makeup. You don't see that in Africa. You don't see that. You don't see no Muslim men walking around with no eyeshadow and shit like that. I don't know what's up with them Arabs. I don't know why they do that. Some of them try to say that the Prophet Muhammad did it, but I don't believe it. I saw the Prophet Muhammad several times, peace be upon him, and every time I saw him, he had no eyeliner on. I'm just saying. So I don't know where the Arabs get that from. That is not an African tradition. The Arabs are practicing that. I don't agree with that shit they putting on their eyes cold. That's feminine. Get out of here with that body boy shit. Excuse my language. And I see you, Hassan, with that 2-ball cane. You probably got a dog about this big with a collar on his neck going east, huh? All right. Brother Ifa Kunle, you got a question? Bismillah.
I had myself muted. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. So I've seen something recently where it was talking about Muslim men shouldn't wear gold. I have a question regarding that because through my researches in history, I've seen like the Moors, for instance, when they came across them, they were wearing robes with laces of gold. So I have a question about that. Like, is that haram or is it permissible to wear?
According to Sharia, men are not permitted to wear gold. Men can wear silver in Islam, but we are not supposed to wear gold. I don't know. You saw a site that was promoting men to wear gold.
We're not promoting to people to wear gold. Like, so for instance, in this book, if I'm not mistaken, now in this book, Golden Age of the Moors, it talks about how when they were given a description of some of the Moors, they had on robes, and in the robes they had linings of gold in the robe. That makes sense.
Now, it's a known fact that Mansa Musa was a Muslim king that had bling bling. Mansa Musa had more gold than them brothers in New York on the block. So yeah. I guess it could be a difference in opinion. Here in Senegal and West Africa, where I am, men do not wear gold. But you see the women wearing gold. But in West Africa, the Islam that we're practicing, ain't nobody in Tuba, the men are not wearing gold. According to our school of thought, Maliki fiqh, men can wear silver, but we're not supposed to wear gold. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it answers it. Because I saw another thing. The reason why I was asking it, because I saw another thing about how gold it can cause infertility in men or lower our fertility rate or something like that.
Oh,
like,
I never knew that, but the Prophet Muhammad Islam had infinite knowledge, so I never knew that. So that could be one of the inner esoteric reasons why we shouldn't wear it.
okay. And yeah, the reason why I asked is because, like you said, Master Musa, how he had, he was blinged out. He was the richest man in the world. I was wondering that because he was also a Muslim, and he was wearing a lot of gold. So I also, because I wear gold myself. And the next question I was going to ask is in regards to earrings, men wearing earrings. How do you feel about that, or what does the Quran say about that?
I'm gonna give you my mama's answer. We ain't even going to go to Islam. My mama was like, if one of my sons come home with an earring, I'm pulling it out of his ear. That's my mama talking. It's a black mama talking. So all this
Okay.
earring, I ain't got to go to Islam and what it says. I'm going back to what my mama said. My mama said,
Okay.
son, you come home with an earring, I'm pulling it out your ear. I tell you something funny. One time my brother was in high school and he went and got an earring with a magnet. He had an earring with a magnet in his ear. And he said he came home one day with that in his ear just to see what mama would do. When he came home in the kitchen, mama went to jump at his ass without saying, mama jumped at him. He said, hey, wait, no, this ain't no earring, it's a magnet, it's a magnet. He took it off immediately. But yeah, as far as that, nah, Bati boy then. I'm not wearing no earrings.
Okay.
That's my own personal experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
listen, one Sufi Sheikh told me this. One Sufi master told me, pay attention to your heart. He said, if it makes your heart quiver, it's haram. He said, if wearing an earring or wearing gold, he said, if it doesn't make your heart shake, it's okay. Can you understand the concept?
Yeah, that's deep what you just said. That's very deep.
Ask yourself, our beloved Noble Drew Ali has taught us the closest place to meet Allah is your heart. So, since we know that, we consult our heart when it's concerning halal and haram. If it's okay with your heart, it's okay with Allah. If it makes your heart say, it's not okay with Allah.
Okay. Thank you, Sheikh.
Alhamdulillah. I love questions. More questions, please.
Hey, Sheikh, I got another question, man.
Yes.
Regarding, again, this is, I guess, still on the topic of the face. I understand that in Islam, men and women have rules on how they should conduct their appearance and stuff like that.
Yes.
Now, I know that we are to grow our beards, right? But we have to cut it at a certain length, right? And I wanted to also speak about the mustache.
I don't agree with none of that. I don't agree with none of that. Most of that is Arab bullshit.
I bet. Cool.
In Africa, you don't see no beards. Islam is not in the beard. Believe me, Islam is not in your beard. If you grow a beard, alhamdulillah. If you don't grow a beard, alhamdulillah. But don't start telling people Islam is in the beard. No. I don't agree with that.
Bet. So, I copy. So it don't matter about the mustache, the length, or no mustache. Like
now, the hadith. The Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam says in hadith, trim the beard and grow the mustache. These are hadiths. So the Prophet Muhammad was an advocate of the beard. But do not, I tell you, there's a Sufi story. There's a Sufi story that makes it plain. There was a sheikh who had a disciple with a beautiful beard. And all the other disciples were advancing on the path. But this one disciple was not advancing on the path. He saw the other people who were with him after 1, 2, 3 years, they got promoted to being a sheikh, teachers of the Sufi path. But he was never promoted. He had this big, nice, beautiful beard. So he went to his sheikh one day and asked the sheikh, what is it about me? I've been doing all the practices, I've been studying your teachings, but these other disciples are coming and getting promoted to being representatives of you. They're becoming sheikhs and teachers, and I'm still at the station of a disciple. What is it about me, Sheikh, that I'm not advancing on the path? He said, my son, you have too much concern and love for your beard. At that, the disciple went into a ecstatic state and started pulling out his beard. And the sheikh said, you're still concerned about your beard. So as far as the beard cut is, do not put too much emphasis in it. All right?
Alhamdulillah, Sheikh. Thank you so much for answering my questions.
Alhamdulillah. Our beloved Sheikh Sufi, assalamu alaikum.
Salaam alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah, Sheikh. My question is in regard of, appearance when it comes to the topic of tattoos. So me myself, I'm a newspaper. So should I be covering up my tattoos when I go into a mosque to pray? Is that something that is prohibited in Islam? I noticed that the Arabian brothers look at me kind of weird when I go pray.
Yeah, some Muslims have a stereotype against tattoos. I have not seen in the hadith where it was haram, but in a lot of Islamic cultures, there are people who are against tattoos. They look down on it. So in order not to offend people, I would say I would cover the tattoo, inshallah. Wear something long enough to cover the tattoos, inshallah.
Thank you, Sheikh. Shukran.
Alhamdulillah. Afwan.
Sheikh,
Salaam
Sheikh,
alaikum,
is this?
Cheikh Sufi.
Oh,
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Is it me or someone else's turn?
Oh, Sister Sadiqa, it's definitely your turn. Ladies first. Ladies first. That's
Bless
an old
you.
Queen Latifah song. Excuse me.
Indeed, indeed. We telling our age, Sheikh Sufi.
I know, right? Some of these people ain't never heard of Queen Latifah.
Yes, I had a question. Do we fall under the ruling where it says we supposed to shave under our arms, I hate to say it, but private parts and
Yes.
things
Yeah.
every 40 days? It's every
Yes.
40 days, correct?
That is a part of Maliki fiqh, yes, because it's a part of hygiene, personal hygiene. Dang, that's crazy. I was reading a Sufi book from Morocco last night, and the sheikh was saying the importance of trimming the underarm and the pubic hair. Just last night, I was reading that according to Maliki fiqh. So yeah, that's clear. Even in the Sufi orders, if we're Maliki, we should be trimming the pubic hairs and the under. You don't want to be looking like some caveman or some bush woman that just came out the bush. Astaghfirullah for being too graphic. But yes, at least every 40 days, inshallah. Great, that's a great question. You still there? You got any other questions, Sister Sadiqa?
No, sir. Thank you. I'm over here laughing at you about looking like a bush woman.
Astaghfirullah. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad used to say, make it plain, black man, make it plain.
Make it plain and listen. Right and exact. I mean.
Brother Nurjan, assalamu alaikum. You got any questions?
Yes, wa alaikum salam, Sheikh. It's a blessing to see you. I hope may Allah continue to protect and guide you. Sheikh, my question. Thank you, Sheikh. My question is about that. How do we, in terms of breaking the spell? So for the murid that are in the West, right? What advice would you say for those that have a concern? I guess I'm speaking about me. That when you do embrace Islam and not Islam, because Islam is pure and Islam is like you said, it's based on intention and it is pure. But for those that have a concern about what, for want of a better term, I'd call, as we all know, like the cultural hegemony that certain Arabs exhibit. And why I'm asking you this, Sheikh, is because just like how you brought up before, like we can talk about this and we understand what we're trying to do in following the deen and especially our Shariat and what have you. But when you're dealing with people that say they're Islamic and they're Arabs, let's say, but they're also selling liquor to us, they're also promoting our women to dress like whores. They're doing all these things, but they're Arabs. How would you recommend a young Murid reconcile that? Because I wrote down my notes here. I agree with everything you're saying from Black Elk Speaks, but replacing one form of supremacy, i.e. white supremacy, with Arab supremacy. That's my concern. Bismillah, Sheikh, astaghfirullah for any errors.
Ooh, brother. How you make him get down? Professor X the Overseer. I got pimp in my crown. That's Brother J from X Clan. But Sheikh Ahmadu Bamba is our example. Once we come to the way of Muridullah, Bifal, Sheikh Ahmadu Bamba, Sheikh Ibn Fall, I'm not looking to an Arab to tell me nothing. I'm not taking no guidance from some Arabs selling alcohol. You got Arabs in North America selling pork in their stores.
Right,
some Arab shops got crucifixes in there.
Right.
All them. Oh, I almost said something I can't say. That's wrong. May Allah protect us from the ignorant Arab Muslim. That's what I want to say. May Allah protect us from the ignorant Muslim. That's Arab. In Senegal, they have a saying, Nar Yak Nadini. If you want to make a Muslim from Senegal laugh, you can tell Nar Yak Nadini, which means in Senegal, they say, listen closely. In Senegal, we say the Arabs messed up our Islam. The Arab people messed up our Islam. Islam is from East Africa. When the Prophet Muhammad was there, alayhi salam, that was not called Arabia. Saudi Arabia is a new name. There's a book called The Superiority of the Blacks Over the Whites by a sheikh named Ibrahim al-Jaziz. The superiority of the blacks over the whites was written by an Arab scholar many, many years ago who was saying that the original Arabs were African dark-skinned black people. Islam came from East Africa, across the canal from the Sudan, to be exact. If the people on one side of the canal is African Sudanese, then the people on the other side of the canal is African. That name Saudi Arabia, you can look it up. The name Saudi Arabia is not more than 400 years old. It came from the Saudi Empire and the king of Saud. Islam is an African tradition. It just happens to be in an Arabic language. But the most pure Arabic is spoken in Sudan. Alhamdulillah. So no, we don't look to my best. I don't take any. No, is the sad part is in America, a lot of people see Arab culture and they don't get to see Islam. If you look at the way I'm dressed, this is obviously an African garb I'm wearing. This is obviously West African Sufi drip. Huh? Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, Sheikh. Blessings. Thank you. All praises. We answered that question. All praises, Sheikh.
Astaghfirullah. Man, listen. The Arabs messed up our religion. The Arabs messed up our Islam. Yeah, it's a good, the best, you'd have to go to Harlem and anytime you go around African communities, you can get African Islamic clothing. You know, it's very, you won't see, I hate to say it, but some of those Arab clothes, some of those Arab Islamic clothes is too tight. They're not even loose fit. Allah forgive me, but I can't do it. I like the West African Sufi drip. The long bifal moored Senegalese tuba style, to be exact. Brother Usama, you have another question? I didn't even get to look and see who all was in the house.
Yeah, Sheikh. My fault. I got like 9 questions. So, Sheikh, I was talking about like tattooing, and you mentioned it's not really in the hadiths or anything like that. So, I want to ask about scarring. Is there any like anything about that being haram or anything of that nature?
African tribes in Senegal, they still practice the scarring, so I cannot say that it's haram. Especially the tribe that Sheikh Ahmed Obama's from, the Pular, the Tukulor, the Fulani, they still practice the face scarring. So no, we cannot say that's haram. And you can probably use that to say that tattoos are not haram. And anything with Islam is the intention behind it. If you have tattoos and your intention was not anything negative or like gang banging, you know, I got this tattoo because I killed 5 people. May Allah protect us from that. If your tattoos are, you know, I want to tell you, I'm gonna tell y'all, listen, when I come back to America, it's a 99% chance that I'm gonna get a butterfly tattoo. I'm just being honest. It's very, me and my daughter, I don't give a damn who see this, what Muslim, F them Muslim. Me and my daughter Hasna was like, Daddy, can we get some matching tattoos? I said, for you, Hasna, yeah, I'll get a tattoo. But I said, Hasna, I'm getting me a butterfly tattoo. She's like, oh, Daddy, I'll get a butterfly tattoo with you. So I'm about to be haram with the rest of the disciples with a tattoo when I get back. So go ahead and throw stones, Mr. Muslim.
Alhamdulillah.
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 Yo,
Sheikh,
Alhamdulillah,
Sheikh, may I ask the question?
I just want to see my daughter smile. I want to see my daughter happy.
Welcome
and, you know, I love
welcome to the world.
anyway.
You got that esoteric and got the esoteric meaning of the butterfly.
Right. I'm gonna get a butterfly tattoo with 787 Bismillah Rahman Rahim on it. Think I ain't F them Muslims. Excuse my language. I want my daughter to be happy, man. Shoot. All right, astaghfirullah. Throw stones if you want. Alhamdulillah, Sheikh Awal got it. All right, Huey Ali, one of my favorite brothers from West Africa, East Africa. Assalamu alaikum. I love the music, brother Ali, that you did with the Kasai.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Alaikum salam. Alaikum salam, Sheikh. I have a question, Sheikh.
Yes.
It's about what you have said about this problem that is in Islam about the problem with color, because us from dark skin background, we have this problem when you come to Islam. So the question is, in Masalik al-Jinan, you said some weeks ago, you talk about it, and when you read Masalik al-Jinan, Sheikh Ahmed Bamba said that in the first chapter, do not prevent you from learning my teachings because I am among of the black people. Why Sheikh Ahmed Bamba why he said that? Because we know that
this is very important. Go ahead, brother.
He don't need to mention that, because we know that, but from such a big wali, such a big master, such a big light in the whole universe, to say that, it means that there's a reason. And I'm still trying to understand why such a great master have to say that, because he don't need to say it, because we know it. This is my question.
Yeah. In the Masalik al-Jinnan, after that verse, Cheikh Ahmed Bamba says in the first section, do not avoid my book because I am from the black, dark-skinned people. And the next verse after that, he says, dark skin does not imply ignorance.
Yes.
And then he said, sometimes a light rainfall precedes a heavy downpour. So the reason Sheikh Ahmed Bamba had to say that is because before the coming of Sheikh Ahmed Bamba, the West Africans had an inferiority complex for the Arabs. That's why Sheikh Ahmed Bamba had to put that in his book. His own country people, his own African Senegalese people had an inferiority complex for light-skinned Arabs to the point that he had to say in his book, do not avoid my book because I am from the black, dark-skinned people. He was addressing that Arab inferiority complex right here in Senegal. That's why he had to put that in the book. And that's still prevalent today. I almost said dumbass. But yeah, I had a dumbass imam ask me once in America, oops, did I say that? Allah forgive me. I shouldn't talk like that. I had an imam from a mosque ask me years ago. He asked me, brother, why did you go to Africa to study Islam? Why didn't you go to an Arab country? And he was a black man. Do you see the inferiority complex of this imam? He was the imam, assistant imam of a masjid in Indianapolis, where I'm from. In 1997, on one of my trips to Senegal, I came back. The assistant imam of the mosque, who was black, asked me, brother, why did you go to Africa to study Islam? Why didn't you go to an Arab country? Message, in his mind, he is under the influence of Arab superiority complex, thinking that the Arabs' ice is colder than the Africans' ice. But the first Islamic universities were in Timbuktu. The first Islamic universities were in Africa. So even to this day, you got some Arab inferiority complex amongst the miseducated Negro Muslim. You need to read Carter G. Woodson, Alhamdulillah, Miseducation of the Negro Muslim. Astaghfirullah. Carter G. Woodson's book is called Miseducation of the Negro. But we have some miseducated Negro imams asking me a dumbass question like, why did you go study Islam in Africa and didn't go to an Arab country? Get out of here with that. Astaghfirullah. I think I've talked too much. We want to thank everyone. This Wednesday, we are celebrating the Magal of a saint. Her name is Sona Astugawan. Sona Astugawan is one of the hidden jewels and treasures of Sheikh Ahmed Bamba. I've been with Sheikh Ahmed Bamba since 1996. And I'm just now finding out about his daughter, who was the firstborn after the exile in Gabon, whose name is Sona Astugawan. She is a saint. Astougawan. Astugawan. Sheikh Ahmed Bamba was in exile in Gabon for 7 years. When he came back to Senegal, all the power he got in 7 years, he took all of that barakah and power and put it into his firstborn daughter, Sona Astugawan. I spent time at her grave since I've been here. I want to say something. This is a whole nother sidebar conversation. The graveyard and the cemetery in Tuba is a holy place. In America, we don't spend time in graveyards in America because of the negative spirit. But in Senegal, in the holy city of Tuba, I spend time in the cemetery here. I know y'all like, what the hell is going on? Did the Sheikh just say he spends time in a cemetery, in the graveyard? Yes, it's different. The graveyard and the cemetery in Tuba is alive. The saints are alive. You cannot appreciate the true value of a saint until you spend time at their grave. Let me say that again. It's very difficult to know the value of a wali, a friend of Allah, until you spend time at their grave. If you go to Sheikh Ibrahim Fall's grave, at Sheikh Ibrahim Fall's grave, it's people there all day at his grave, making dua and prayer. You go to Sheikh Ahmed Bamba's grave, it's people at his grave all day. You go to Sri Falu's grave, it's people at his grave all day. You go to Sri Sayu's grave, it's people at his grave all day. You go to Sona Astu Gawan's grave, it's people at her grave all day. You go to Sheikh Ahmed Bamba's mama's grave, Mam Jara Buso, it's people at her grave all day. Because there's light and angel, the graves are alive. Friday, I spent time at Sona Astu Gawan's grave. She's a saint. I made my salat at her grave. I read Sindidi at her grave. I ate my lunch at her grave. I drank coffee tuba at her grave. The man I told you that was speaking English in the graveyard, I met him at her grave. The saints are alive and there's barakah coming from their graves. Even Baal Mahayadeen. Baal Mahayadeen is buried outside of Philadelphia. People are coming to his grave all day. Baal Mahayadeen's grave in America is the most holiest place in America. I'll go on record and say it twice. Baal Mahayadeen, his grave is the most holy place in America. Facts. Baal Mahayadeen said, if you come to my grave and ask me a question, I will talk to you from my grave. I have went to Baal Mahayadeen's grave several times. I have asked him questions several times. He has answered me from his grave several times. And I'm going to go on record and say something I probably shouldn't say in public, but the daughter of Sheikh Ahmed Bamba, Sona Astu Gawan, can talk to you from her grave. She talked to me twice. I'm just saying. I shouldn't be telling all my personal business, but that woman is talking from her grave. So anyway, her Maggle, we're celebrating her this Wednesday in Tuba. All of this stuff, let me show you. We bought a lot of containers for juice. We're making a lot of juice, sacrificing a lamb, sacrificing chickens. Anyone who wants to participate, you can send a donation to, I didn't buy the sheep yet. We're gonna buy at least one sheep and some chickens to feed the people on her day. We're gonna buy it probably tomorrow on Monday. $5, $1, $10. If you wanna have blessings, you can send the donations. If you can't do it before tomorrow, we have to bring coffee to her grave, to serve coffee at her grave. We're making ginger juice, BSAT, what's the other juice? Anyway, if you want to participate, you can send a donation here or cook some food and give it away in her name in your location on Wednesday. That's even better. Because honestly, I have enough money to buy the sheep myself. You really don't have to send a dime. I shouldn't say that I got money, but I'm buying a sheep tomorrow and about 10 chickens tomorrow. So I don't need your donation to buy it. Let me just make that clear. If you want to participate, you can. But even better, in your own location, or cook a dinner for your family. That's what you can do. Cook a dinner in honor of Sona Astu Gaiwan for your family on Wednesday, and you are celebrating the Magal with us. Any questions on this celebration?
Bismillah,
Any
Sheikh.
questions or comments?
Bismillah.
She's the older sister of Serene Saliu. I needed to say that. Sona Astu Gawan is Serene Saliu's older sister, and Serene Salihu had such a love for her. Serene Salihu is the one who gave the deagle to celebrate her Magal. Serene Salihu said, we have to celebrate my older sister with a Magal, and her Magal is this Wednesday. Any questions?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Alhamdulillah. Is that the picture that you sent into the groups? Is that the sister?
No, that was Serene Saliu's mom.
Mother,
I have
okay.
a picture of Sona Astu Gawan. I will send the picture of Sona Astu Gawan. Also, anyone who can, she loved the Kasai Sindidi. On her grave, the Kasai Sindidi is written on her grave. This Wednesday, she loved the prayer Sallallahu Alaihi Muhammad. Above her grave is written Sallallahu Alaihi Muhammad going all the way around the grave, and on the grave is written Sindidi. This Wednesday, you ain't gotta send a donation with money. You can read Sindidi for her. Please recite Sallallahu Alaihi Muhammad as many times as you can on Wednesday for her. It's gonna bless your life if you do this. Read the Sindidi Wednesday for Sona Astu Gawan and recite Sallallahu Alaihi Muhammad 500 to 1,000 times on Wednesday as a gift to Sona Astu Gawan. If Sheikh Mustafa is here or Imam Sheikh Bilal, if you can make a flyer for this Wednesday for the Magal of Sona Astu Gawan, we asking everybody who can, cook some food for her Wednesday, feed your family. If you want to participate, you can send a donation here, but at least read Sindidi for her on Wednesday and recite Sallallahu Alaihi Muhammad 313 times, 500 or 1,000 times on Wednesday for Sona Astu Gawan, the oldest daughter of Sheikh Ahmed Bamba, born after the Magal. Someone said, Muna into my folks with Sona Astu Gawan. Oh, Mema Tuti. My folks. Be low. This is my house. This is a picture of Sona Astugawan. And it's next to her younger brother, Serene Salawi. This is, she only has one picture. This is the Saint Sona Astugawan, the oldest daughter of Sheikh Ahmed Bamba, born after the firstborn after the exile. And alhamdulillah, we're celebrating her magal this Wednesday. Any questions or comments? It's good to see African Black female saints in Islam. Let me go on record and say that. It's good to see a woman who's an African who is celebrated as a holy woman and a saint in Islam. It's very good for the African consciousness to see this.
Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. This is Brother Ghani. I got a couple questions, and they probably won't be hard for you to answer. As far as like
is this Brother
superstitions. No, this Brother Khalifa.
Oh, Khalifa
Ghani
Islam.
Khalifa.
Yes, Bismillah, please.
Yes, alhamdulillah. Pictures in the home with eyeballs on the picture. Is that haram, or is that like another one of those Arab traditions?
Arab bullshit. Let me ask you a question. When Prophet Muhammad was here, did they have cameras?
They did not. That's hey, I was thinking the same thing.
They could have been talking about pictures. They were talking about statues and carvings.
Okay.
They were not talking about, they ain't had no Kodak camera back then, man.
They did not. Alhamdulillah. Thank you for that. And my second question is, have you, you mentioned finances, and you mentioned being in Africa. I've heard situations where people were over there and they got price gouges for things. Have you experienced that in Tuba?
Hold
or
on.
is that
They
other
got
places
what?
that goes on?
What
Price
happened?
gouges, like they would find out you were from America. They got overcharged for things, like they found out that you was American and they feel like you had so much money.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. When I go places to buy stuff, I let the Senegalese people ask for the price. Because if they hear your English, the price is going up immediately. Even when we go to take a taxi, if the Senegalese person asks for a taxi, the taxi gonna be about 1,000 safer. But if I go and ask, even in Wolof with an American accent, the taxi ride gonna be 4,000 safer.
Okay.
The djembe drum, the drum in Dakar, if you go to buy a djembe drum in Dakar, the drum might be 20 to 30,000 safer. You come speaking English, the drum gonna be 150,000 safer. So that's for real, bro. The
All right,
price
well, thank you. I was actually,
and I've told some people I speak Wolof. I've been here. I lived here for 2 years at a time. I know the price is supposed to be. I have told some of these brothers, I've told some of these people, what you're doing is not wrong. I said, you are wrong for raising the price because I'm not from here. I have told them several times in Wolof, with my broken English Wolof, that means what you're doing is no good. You get the price. You raising the price. Because I'm not born here. I get in their ass sometimes, man, in their own language, when they raise the price for me. Sad but true fact.
Thank you, Sheikh. Thank you for that information.
Yeah, but you know, he's just trying to feed his family. I ain't mad at the African. If you could get, a tourist is a tourist. If you raise the price for a tourist, that's one thing. But don't raise the price for somebody with a picture of Sheikh Ahmed Obama on his necklace.
That's right.
Come on, man. You're going to raise the price, and I got Zikr beads, and I got a picture of Sheikh Ibn Fall. I obviously am not a tourist. Come on, Mr. Senegalese African. I'm going to say something to you in Woolall.
Do the people
All right,
around
good
him get him?
people.
Kind of, they just kind of let him do what he do.
Now, we're coming back to America in about 2 weeks. In December, inshallah, we're coming back in 2 weeks. In December, we will return to Senegal. I need to have some people on that plane with me. I need some brothers. I need some sisters. I need at least one brother on the plane and at least one sister on that plane with me in December. I'm not bullshit. We got to break this American spell. You got to break that curse that going to Africa, you're going to be starving and hungry. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Bob Marley. Al-Fatiha. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billahil azim. Stop calling me, man. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in Ihdina siratal mustaqim Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghayril maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin Amin. Salatul Fatih. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad al-Fatihi lima uglika wa khatimi lima sabaqa nasirul haqqi bil haqq وهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم. Barke Sona Astugawan. 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 By the blessing of Sona Astugawan, we are praying that by her barakah, all of us, the spell of America is broken for all of us. We're praying by the blessing of Sona Astugawan that Allah will break the spell of America from all of the disciples of Sheikh Ahmadu Bamba in the West and abroad. Barke Sona Astugawan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa
Alaikum salam, Sheikh. Salam, family.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Salam, salam.
Salam, Sheikh. Peace and love, everyone.
Walaikum assalam.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.